Hi, so today we'll be seeing something about multiplication of decimal numbers. Okay, so here I've taken an example, 0.2 multiplied with 0.3. So now before going to multiply the decimals, we will take the help of fractional equivalents. Now we already studied that 0.2 is same as 2 by 10 multiplied with 0.3, so 0.3 is same as 3 by 10. So we have changed the multiplication of decimals as the equivalent multiplication of fractions. Now we know the multiplication of fractions, that numerator multiplies with numerator and denominator multiplies with denominator. So here the numerators have been multiplied and also the denominators have been multiplied. So what we get, the end result is 2 multiplied with 3 is 6 and 10 multiplied with 10 is 100. Now we know this is the final answer and we know how to convert a fractional number back into its decimal equivalent. We write 6 and move back 2 places because there are 2 zeros in the denominator, and so the final answer is 0.06. Now this is the logic of multiplication of decimal numbers. So we will find an analogy about how this thing is working. This thing 0.2 into 0.3, we already got the answer as 0.06. Now see what we can actually conclude by this. First of all, what we will do is let's simply multiply the numbers ignoring the decimals. Okay, so we had the numbers 0.2 into 0.3. Let's ignore the decimal and let's have only the digits. So 2 multiplied with 3, the answer is 6. Now count the number of digits to the right of decimal point in the numbers that were multiplied and add them. Try to understand this step. Count the total number of digits to the right of decimal point in the numbers that were multiplied and add them. So this number, we had 1 digit to the right of decimal point. This number, we had 1 digit to the right of decimal point. So together they make 2 digits to the right of decimal point. So after this step, what we have to do is move to the left of the rightmost digit of the number we got after multiplication. After multiplication we had got 6 and our cursor is blinking to the rightmost digit of the number. So we have to go back towards left. How many digits? As many digits as we counted in the previous step, the number of digits after the decimal point in the numbers that were multiplied. So we found we had to go back 2 digits. So we go back 1 digit, add a 0, go back second digit, put a decimal point and 0. So by this step we found that the result is 0.06 and we have already verified that the result is 0.06. So taking this analogy, we will take some more examples and get to know about multiplication. Like 1.2 when multiplied with, suppose 0.3. So what we will do is we will simply multiply the numbers ignoring the decimal. 12 multiplied 3, what we get is 36. Now we have to move back as many decimal number of places. We find that here 1 digit, here 1 digit after the decimal point. So together we will have to move 2 digits, 1 digit here, 1 digit here. We put the decimal point and a 0. This is our final answer, and this is just to understand, so we won't write this step. Okay, so 1.2 multiplied with 0.3 is 0.36. Now let's take another example. 1.3 multiplied with 0.02. Okay, So we will multiply the numbers without considering the decimal. So 13 multiplied with 2, this gives us 26. Now we have to move back how many decimal places? Here we have 2 digits to the right of decimal, here we have 1 digit to the right of decimal. Total we have 3 digits to the right of decimal. So we'll move back 1 place, 2 place, add a 0, move back a 3rd place, decimal point and another 0. So 1.3 multiplied with 0.02 is 0.026. This step was to understand. So in actual practice we won't be writing this step. Now let's take a final example. Suppose a number is 2.5 multiplied with 0.004. okay, so first of all what we will do, we will simply multiply the digits ignoring the decimal. So 25 multiplied with 4 is 100. Now we have to move back how many decimal places? 3 plus 1, 4. So move back 1, 2, 3, add a 0, 4, decimal point and a 0. Now we already know that the trailing zeros on the rightmost part are insignificant, so we can remove them, and so the final answer is 0.01. so this is the way we simply multiply the decimals. In the next tutorial we will see some important things about shifting the decimal points, so we will discuss about them when we will go into it. Okay.